If someone sees your work, likes it, inquires and still doesn't book, that's not bad luck. That's something that you can fix. I'm going to go through what we do in our studio to make sure that we're constantly improving to get our conversion rates up. You probably don't need more leads, you just need to convert more of them. Does that sound familiar? Is that your pain point at the moment? In which case, let's go through and just analyze it and figure out why aren't they booking in. So, first of all, if you think about it, everything we do comes down to marketing. You need that constant source of leads coming through. Now, everybody's different. You might only need a handful of clients per month. You might need a handful of clients per day. Either way, you need to make sure that inquiries are coming in on a consistent flow. Now, to do that, you'll have done your adverts, you'll have done your social media, you'll be putting posts up and things. And so anybody who does inquire, first of all, they saw your photography and they said, yes, I like that, I want it. Then they saw whatever your offer is and they've gone, yes, I like that, I want it. And then they give you their data. So obviously you're collecting things like name, phone number, email, or whatever it is that you're collecting from them. It's important that you do collect the data so that you can then follow it up, not just, here's my number, give me a call if you're interested in, because people are busy. People go onto social media as well, it's outside of working hours. So what if they see it and go, oh, I'll phone that tomorrow, and then the attention span just isn't long enough and they never do phone you. So make sure you're collecting those leads. So your leads come into your CRM. For us, that's booked up. They come in and we can see them in our pipeline. So first of all, the client has said, yes, I like your pictures. They've then gone, that's the offer? Yes, I want that. In our marketing message, we'll have put something to say, we are looking for X that is appropriate for Y. So we're looking for babies turning 1 within the next 2 weeks. So again, you've had another yes from the client. Yes, that's me, so I'm going to inquire. Then comes the harsh truth. They get on the phone, they speak to you, and then they say no, or I need to think about it, or I need to speak to my partner. So that was a yes, a yes. Then you get involved and it's a no. That's not because you're not a nice person. All it'll be is just whatever you've said along that conversation has done maybe one of a couple of things. One, they've listened to it and your pre-qualifiers to make sure that this is the right type of client for you have worked. And so they've said no and they're just not, you and the client are just not a good fit. Or it may be that they're not quite sure. Maybe it's the deposit. Maybe I don't want to pay it. What if I lose my deposit? What if something happens? What if I book in now and I forget that I'm supposed to see you in 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks time? And so maybe that's where you've lost them. Maybe it's the pricing, maybe somewhere along the way, the client has lost trust in you. Now that's fixable, so long as we monitor this. So what's a really useful tool is start recording yourself. Get your computer set up, get the webcam on and record yourself. It's just for you. You probably will hate it, you won't like listening back to yourself, but it's important. Now, because you're recording from your camera, recording you and not recording the phone call, you don't need to let the client know about it. Being sneaky or anything, you're not listening to them, you can't hear them. What you're doing is you're just going to watch back and see how you are explaining things. Because it's very easy for us to explain something that makes sense in our heads, but then when you hear those words back, you can go, oh right, that was word vomit, or I forgot to mention this bit. And that may be why the client is leaving at the end of the phone call with not enough confidence to commit and book in with you. So this is very fixable. Now you may have a system where you're able to record the phone call. We don't do that. You do have to let the clients know about it, and that can turn some of your clients off straight away. And the idea is to make it as easy as possible for that client to inquire and book in without any sort of a hesitation, objection, worry or fear. And that's the main thing. So if somebody doesn't book in with you, it's because there's not enough trust. There's that fear of making a mistake, and your goal when you're on the phone is to get rid of that. So when you're on the phone with them, they've seen your picture and said yes, seen the offer, they've said yes, I'm a good fit for this, I want it. So if we break down the phone call, First of all, you need to explain what your offer's about and why you're running the offer, so it makes sense to your client, because there will still be a little bit, depending on what your offer is, there may be a bit in the back of their head where they're like, you know what, I inquired about this because the offer seems almost too good to be true. And so you need to make them realize that, look, you're one of the fortunate ones who's getting this offer and it's only running until a certain date and things. So again, you want to use that fear of missing out. If people can go away and think about it, they always will. So the idea is fear of missing out, the session will go, the offer will end, something like that. So then we're going to explain about the session itself. And again, when you're explaining about it, you need to get excitable. You need them to think that this is your favorite type of session. It's going to be really good fun. You're really going to look after them regardless of what it is. If it's a boudoir shoot, they're probably very nervous because they've never done anything like this before. So you've got to put them at ease, let them know that, you know, there's nothing untoward or anything like that, very safe environment. If it's a kid's photo shoot or a family shoot, again, they're probably very nervous because they're like, oh no, what if these pictures look bad? I'm not wearing the right things. What if my baby cries? All this sort of stuff. And so you need to let them know about how we handle all of these things, so that any fears that they've get relieved and you've got a solution for anything like that. Now, with this in mind, if they don't book in with you, don't be scared of asking, is there anything that you're unsure of or anything that I've said that's confused you a little bit? And the worst they'll do is just go, no thank you, bye. But they might turn around and go, well, I'm not entirely too sure about this, or do you know what, my baby's not very good in the afternoons. Well, let's do a morning one. Now you've just found out that maybe you're always offering a time slot to try and fill it, when in actual fact, that's turning some clients off because they'd much prefer to do a morning slot. Maybe you're always offering the weekends, when actually, do you do a late night on a Thursday? I didn't realise. Of course, maybe you can start to change how you work and bring the clients in that way. And so, it's very worthwhile on the phone call to make sure you ask these sorts of questions, especially at the end if they say they're not going to book in. Now, you want to be recording and watching back those where they do book in and compare those two videos, because what you'll find is a lot of the time it comes down to us and our expectations. If you're in a bad run at the moment and you're desperate for the next person you speak to book in with you, that will come across subconsciously and the clients will pick up on it. It's almost like a negotiation. The rules in negotiation is that, you know, whoever wants something more is the one who's going to lose. So if you want the booking more than they want to book in with you, chances are they're not going to. If you go onto the phone thinking, these aren't going to book, or it's going well and these are going to do it, and then they ask that one question that you're, oh God, they've asked about price, for argument's sake, and you, as soon as you hear that, you're like, oh, so my prices start, and there's a shift or a change in gear in you because you're like, oh, they never book in when I talk about price. Well, one, they'll pick up on that little shift in your attitude towards it, even if you try to mask it. And two, if you're worried about pricing, then you need to spend time and get better at the pricing answer. Now, we have a video for that, so go watch it, it works really well, but you need to perfect that. If it comes up in most of your conversations and it's what loses you the booking, right, well then control that. You bring it up instead of them. Make it so that it comes across as though that's just the price. There you go. Great example, you're going to say cars, Ferrari, Porsche, something like that. They're not scared about telling you the price. That's the price of their car. You don't want it, that's fine. You're not my client, that's okay. And people will go in and spend that kind of money on a car. And honestly, as a car, isn't it? Yes, it's a status symbol, but it's the same with your photography. There's always going to be somebody cheaper than you. So if they really wanted it for the cheapest, they're going to go somewhere else and get it cheaper. They're not your client, that's fine. But there is a market for every budget and every product that you've got. And you just got to find that and tap into it. So if you are bringing leads in, the first thought, and they're not booking in, the first thought is, I need more leads. But now you're just playing the numbers game and averages and you're not improving. And the goal should be that we get better on the conversions, and then our marketing budget can come down because we're bringing in more bookings, but we don't need as many leads now. And that's the goal, because then that will then increase your margins. You're not having to spend as much on marketing and you can concentrate on your clients. So this is all stuff that is fixable. So my advice is, if you've got leads and inquiries coming in, but they're not converting, start recording yourself. Start making notes after every single phone call. Where did I lose the client? Where was it going well and then there was a shift between us? Maybe script out your conversation, tick it off as you're going along. And if you feel like, oh, here's where the objection came up, make a little note, make a bullet point. This is where it came up. So on my next phone call, I'm not just going to jump in and go, right, I'm going to have a positive attitude, I'm going to do this. That's great, you need that, but that's not going to change where the choke point is. You need to go through your notes, you need to look and go, right, this is where the majority of my inquiries shift from I want to book in to can I speak to my partner? I don't have my card on me, so can I book in next week? Can you send me a payment? All sorts of things like these, smoke screens to get away from booking in and committing with you there and then. But you're in control of this and you can change it. And you don't need many calls to make a big difference. Your studio, your sessions, whatever event photography it is that you're doing. And each person that says no to you, that is fine, so long as we learn from it and we can improve a tiny little marginal improvement for the next phone call. And if we keep doing that, you'll get to a stage where booking people in is very easy. Hope that's been useful for you guys. Give me a like and a subscribe if you don't mind. If there's something you want me to cover in particular, please put it in the comments and I will cover that in one of the next videos. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.